long before the age of steam locomotives, before factory engines powered the Industrial Revolution, and long before humanity understood the science of automation, there lived a man in the ancient city of Alexandria who did the unthinkable. He built a machine powered by steam, not in the 18th century, but over 2,000 years ago. His name was Hero of Alexandria, an inventor, engineer, mathematician, and visionary. A man whose brilliance echoed far beyond the temples and lecture halls of his time, yet faded into the background of history. Hero created devices that mimicked intelligent behavior, machines that responded to inputs, performed tasks automatically, and predicted the very future of mechanical design. He imagined automation centuries before the word even existed, but despite his genius, Hero remains a mystery to most. Overshadowed by names like Archimedes and Aristotle, his contributions are often lost in dusty manuscripts and forgotten scrolls. Why did the world forget him? Why were his inventions buried by time, only to be rediscovered long after they could have changed the world? Today, we turn back the clock to uncover the story of a man who built the first steam engine before the modern world was even born. This is not just history. This is the unknown story of Hero of Alexandria. In the 1st century AD, Alexandria stood as a beacon of knowledge and innovation, a city where science, philosophy, and invention flourished side by side. At its heart were the great library and the museum, centers of learning that attracted the most brilliant minds of the ancient world. Among them was a man unlike any other, Hero of Alexandria. A mathematician, engineer, and teacher, Hero thrived in this vibrant intellectual world. He wasn't content with theories alone. He asked questions no one dared to ask, and then built the answers. Hero taught at the museum, blending the abstract world of mathematics with the practical force of mechanics and physics. He designed machines that moved on their own, measured the earth, and harnessed the power of air, water, and steam. But Hero wasn't just a scholar hidden behind scrolls. He was a maker, a problem solver, and a visionary. In an era defined by myth and mystery, Hero stood out as a mind grounded in logic, yet bold enough to dream far beyond his time. This was the world that shaped him, and in return, he shaped it. Among Hero's many inventions, one stands out as a glimpse into the future: the Aeolipile, a simple-looking device, a hollow metal sphere mounted on a pivot. But when heated, steam shot out of its bent nozzles, making the sphere spin. This wasn't a toy. It was the first recorded steam engine, built in the 1st century AD. And yet that was just the beginning of Hero's brilliance. He engineered automatic temple doors that opened on their own when fires were lit at nearby altars. No magic, just clever use of air pressure and heat, with the mechanism hidden underground, out of sight, yet astonishingly effective. Then came his coin-operated machine, arguably the world's first vending machine. Worshippers would insert a coin, triggering a lever system that dispensed holy water. A transaction as simple as modern-day vending, but invented nearly 2,000 years ago. Hero also created automated puppet theaters, using ropes, pulleys, and rotating drums to produce timed performances. These miniature mechanical shows were early examples of programming, a sequence of actions triggered and executed automatically. All of this in a world without electricity, without microchips, without motors. Hero wasn't just an inventor, he was a pioneer of automation, a mind centuries ahead of its time, crafting machines that moved, responded, and entertained, using nothing but air, steam, and imagination. Hero of Alexandria didn't just build machines, he documented them. His genius was captured in a series of texts that would outlive his own time: Pneumatica, Automata, Metrica, and Dioptra. In these writings, Hero explained how to measure distances and heights, calculate areas and volumes, and harness the invisible forces of air, steam, and water. He outlined the mechanics of self-operating devices, using valves, siphons, levers, and weights, all centuries before modern physics formalized such concepts. But as the Western Roman Empire declined, Hero's name faded into obscurity. His texts were nearly lost until they found new life in the Islamic Golden Age. Scholars in the Islamic world translated Hero's work into Arabic, preserving and expanding upon his ideas. Inventors and scientists like Al-Jazari and Banu Musa drew direct inspiration from his machines, helping bridge the ancient and medieval worlds of engineering. Then, during the European Renaissance, Hero's manuscripts re-emerged once more. Translated back into Latin, his books stunned scholars who realized that a man from ancient Alexandria had thought, written, and invented like a modern engineer. Hero's legacy became a kind of time capsule, a reminder that even in the first century, the seeds of mechanical science had already been planted. His machines weren't just ancient curiosities, they were blueprints for the future. And through his writings, Hero continues to whisper across time, sharing his vision with anyone curious enough to open the scroll. With inventions centuries ahead of their time, why didn't Hero of Alexandria reshape the world? The answer is both simple and tragic. The world just wasn't ready. In Hero's time, Alexandria was in decline. Political unrest, Roman control, and cultural shifts had begun to erode the city's golden age. The economic foundations needed to mass produce or apply his inventions simply didn't exist. Hero's machines, automatic doors, steam engines, coin dispensers, were viewed as temple curiosities, clever illusions meant to impress worshippers and guests. They were admired but not adopted. There was no industrial need, no commercial drive, and no infrastructure to carry his ideas forward. As a result, his remarkable innovations were seen as entertainment rather than engineering. And so, Hero's legacy was quietly set aside, buried in scrolls and forgotten by time. For nearly 1,500 years, his ideas lay dormant, waiting for a world that would finally understand their true potential. Sometimes history forgets not because it chooses to, but because it isn't ready to remember. Today our world runs on automation, from robotic arms and assembly lines to self-driving cars, from smart homes to artificial intelligence. We live surrounded by machines that move, respond, and even make decisions. But over 2,000 years ago, one man imagined this world. Hero of Alexandria designed machines that opened doors on their own, dispensed goods when coins were dropped, told stories through mechanical puppets, and spun steam-powered engines before engines had a name. He couldn't have known the full impact of his ideas. Yet in the quiet of ancient temples and workshops, he planted the seeds of modern engineering. Hero's story matters not because his inventions changed the world in his time, but because they show us that vision has no expiration date, that brilliance can exist even when the world isn't ready for it. Innovation isn't always measured by immediate impact. Sometimes it lies dormant, waiting centuries to inspire the next mind, in a different age, under different skies. And in rediscovering figures like Hero, we remember a vital truth. The future is often shaped by those the past forgot. Hero of Alexandria, a man born in the heart of the ancient world, yet thinking centuries ahead of his time. He didn't just imagine the future, he built it, one invention at a time. And yet, like so many great thinkers in history, his name was almost lost to time, buried in scrolls, scattered across empires, and overshadowed by louder voices. But here, we uncover those forgotten sparks of genius. Because history isn't just about kings and conquerors. It's also about the quiet architects of progress, whose ideas shape the world we live in today. If this story inspired you, there's more to explore. At Ancient Minds, we journey through time to rediscover the scientists, inventors, and engineers whose brilliance deserves to be remembered. Subscribe to join us and help bring the world's greatest hidden minds back into the light. And don't go far. Up next, meet the man who built the first earthquake detector, all the way back in 132 AD. A device so sensitive it could detect quakes hundreds of miles away, before modern science could even explain them. Because sometimes the most incredible minds are the ones history almost forgot.